Hey listeners, my name is Elisha, the founder of the Witnesses podcast. It's so beautiful to have you listening to our podcast, and I want you to know something that means a whole lot to me. Thank you for tuning in. And one thing I love to tell all of our listeners is it's not just about you listening, but listening to understand. Understanding is the most important thing, so important. So you have to listen, learn, and practice. Thank you so very much and happy listening.
City, your state, your community. I tell you, that's just the only way. You've got to know. But isn't going to collapse because God is able to sustain my marriage. Had it been he or she can see, he or she will be able to tell that this person is innocent. We are the enemies. You get it now? That's why you see Jesus said, love your enemies. Do good to them that hurt you. Because Jesus understands.
Glory be to God in the highest, the Father of mercies. Good, beautiful morning to you all. God bless you abundantly, and it is well with you in Jesus' mighty name. Thank you for always creating out time to listening to our podcast. Like I say all the time, and it has become an anthem. Thank you so very much. It really means a lot to me. Thank you, and God bless you. And it's so beautiful to realize that you guys are turning up to listening to the Overcomers show. I'm amazed at the analytics. You guys are really listening, and that's so good. And I know for surety that you're blessed already by listening to those podcasts. The Overcomers show is basically to put an end to problem in the world, and that's a fraction of how we want to change the world, because I realized that the solution to the world's problem is knowledge. A path that you're about to go through, someone had gone through it and came out triumphantly. So bringing that person on the show to talk about the path and I came out of it triumphantly is the essence of the Overcomers show, so that you who wants to go through that path, you would have a complete understanding of how the path is, or you who are struggling in that path, you would have more light shed on the path, and now you're going to come out of it triumphantly. That's the essence of the Overcomers show. So thank you for always getting our time to listening to it. It means a lot. Okay, let's begin with the title of today's podcast is You Are the Solution to Your Country's Hardship. That's the blunt truth, I tell you. And I want you to listen to this podcast with your heart open, though it's going to be broken into 3 parts, and you must follow up. Okay, so important. You are the solution to your country's hardship. That's the truth. I actually did a survey, and I asked some people a question. And the question was, being in your country right now, to you, is it a blessing or a curse? 50% got it correctly, and the remaining 50% didn't get it. 50% that got it correctly said, yeah, it is a blessing. The other 50% said, it is a great curse. Look at it. No peace, no security. The price of food in the market is hiking day by day. How would I ever even believe that this is a blessing? What sort of blessing is this? They said. Then I now explained it to them, and after my explanation, I threw the question again, and this time around, they got it right. So I want you to listen so well, so that it can also bless you. Let me start first by talking to you about a manufacturer and a product. Are you ready to learn? Okay, that's why you're listening. I got it. Okay, so no manufacturers would ever be interested in wasting their raw materials. No manufacturers. Go check it. That's why every manufacturer creates a product because it is needed. No manufacturer would ever create a product that is not needed, because to them it simply means they are wasting their raw materials. Are you following? Okay. I want you to understand something. Alright? I want you to get it. God, the Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, it says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." Oh, God created the heavens and the earth. That automatically makes God a manufacturer. Are you following? And the Bible tells us now God said, "Let us make man in our own image and likeness." So that makes God a manufacturer, and we human being, that makes us God's what? God's product. You're so brilliant. God's product. So every human being on earth is a product. I want you to write that down. Every human being on earth is a product. Okay, so I want you to follow me. A manufacturer created a product because it is first needed. That has defined its purpose. Because it is needed has defined its purpose. Okay, before a manufacturer would create a product, it first need to understand its need, one, and secondly, it's got a plan for it. What plan? Plan on how to make it succeed. And thirdly, here comes the product. So let me put it in a more simpler way for you to understand. Before a manufacturer creates a product, it first need to define the purpose. It's got a purpose for it. And the second one is the plan. It's got to have a plan on how to make the product succeed. So once the purpose is well defined and now it's got a plan, then the product comes into existence. Okay, now you are a product and God is your manufacturer. Before you were created, God's got a purpose for you, and He's got a plan on how to make you succeed. Then He created you. I want you to understand that. Now, once a product is abused, the product starts to malfunction. How do you abuse a product? You abuse a product when you are using it not for the purpose of which it was created, but for something else. What do I mean? Imagine fireworks. It's to beautify the sky with so many fire and all of this stuff. It makes the sky look so beautiful. Now you're saying you're trying to get that same experience by tampering with the wire connected to the electricity. You're definitely going to get a disaster. Why? Because you are abusing the wire. It wasn't created for that purpose. Are you following? I want you to understand. It's so important. So, you are a product. May I tell you something shocking? The reason why the world is in such a great chaos and the world is not experiencing peace is because you as a product, you're being abused. And where a product is abused, the product is going to be malfunctioning. The reason why the world is in such a great chaos is because you as a product, you're being abused. The reason why your country is experiencing hardship is because you as a product, you're being abused. And I explained how you can abuse a product. You abuse a product when it is not functioning in the purpose of which it was created for. Are you following? Are you beginning to understand something? I'm heading somewhere. I want you to follow me. Follow me with all of your heart. So important. You are being abused. That's why your country is in such a great chaos. There is no peace in your country. Things aren't going as they ought to because you as a product, you're being abused. Are you understanding it? It's so easy to say it is a curse being in this country. Nah, it is a curse. How dare you tell me it is a blessing? It is a curse. It's so easy to say that. But that's why it's so important that you seek out knowledge. Get to know what you don't know before. It's so important to know what you don't know before. It's so important. Are you following? What's the title again? You are the solution to your country's hardship. You see, when you get to understand this podcast, you get to understand what I'm teaching you, you would realize why you are the solution. You would realize why you're the solution. So let's continue. How are you abused as a product? How are you abused as a product? You're abused as a product because God has a purpose of which He created you for. You know, earlier I talked about God being a manufacturer, and before a manufacturer can ever create a product, it's got its purpose, it's got a plan for it, then the product comes in. That's the 3 P's. Okay, so now God has created you for a particular purpose, and here you are functioning outside your purpose.
Thank you for tuning in to this incredible episode. Your support means the world to us, and we truly value you. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback is greatly appreciated.